wonder if we're going to get a summary of these points, just to see if your prediction was right, James. I don't think we are, unfortunately. I'm not sure our maths is that good to get the top 30 from that.
Just from those quick summaries, no, Paul. Those last few heats definitely had some very high point scorers. So,
yeah,
what's your best guess?
I don't know. I think you're in the 700s. It looked like you must be in the 700s. You think, to make that top 30, and that's pretty good quality. It just shows you the quality of the people that are here this week. Lots and lots of big names.
This World Series is probably one of the best attended internationally that I've seen for years in this country. So that points total that we reckon it might be is just an indicator of how strong it really is getting.
Yeah, we move on to the men's under freestyle now. And there are the swimmers for that first heat. We have, it's an Asian affair, this one. Mano Sandhu from India, Zhirong Yang from China, Dehalim Mohammed from Malaysia in 4, Wai Zong from China in 5, and Wen Hong Yin from China in lane number 6.
So no entry times, Paul, for this heat, so some surprises maybe.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get here. 2 S4s from China in 5 and 6, so that's at the top of the screen as we're looking at it. Malaysian in lane number 4 is an S8 swimmer, and the Chinese swimmer just one line below is an S6 swimmer, so range of classifications here. Manon Sandhu from India goes in lane number 2. He's an S6 swimmer as well, so again, we'll just need to watch out for the finishing positions, watch out for the points when we get them. So good contest, this one, between the S8 swimmer from Malaysia and Wei Zhong from China. Right in the middle. Their entry times we don't know, of course, because they didn't have them, so this will be a news to us how they're getting on. We can maybe tell from their expressions when we see them at the end. So 113.68 into the wall first. We got Zhirong Yang from China in second position. 604 points as the 2 swimmers in 5 and 6 come through. Straight away, the 2 S4 swimmers into the 700 point range.
And we were just talking about how strong this event is getting, and Heat 1 of the men's MC 100 freestyle, we get 717 points.
717 and a 675. So there or thereabouts. Final swimmer coming in is Mano Sandhu. The S6 swimmer is not going to challenge the big points totals that we've seen already. But he comes into the closing stages now. So again, we'll wait for confirmation of the result. So that's the result. Good start, 717 points. And what do we have for this next heat? I wonder if we're going to get any big points earners in this one. There's the lineup: Ferrero, Abdullah, Kumar Singh, Ashman, El Said, Becca de Silva, Barça Diaz, Field, Santos Arujo, and Phillips. That's the lineup for this one. So again, we've got Alberto Barça Diaz from Chile. He was a world champion last year in Madeira. Brazilian team, I think, and the Portuguese team as well. They went to the Italian World Series last week. They've come here to Sheffield this week, so they've been on the road.
Lots of travelling, lots of opportunity to see some different swimming pools. The Brazilian team, saw them coming in this morning, and there's a nice large group that they brought over, which, as we've said a couple of times, is great for the sport and great for the World Series that we're getting this international representation.
And the World Series has been going for, I think, 6 years now. I think 2017 was the first year. So is it something that I mean, there was always the meets kind of around the world. The Berlin meet was always a good one. There was one, the Nordic Open was always one that was kind of contested every year. This one in Sheffield as well. There were some American ones that were or Canadian ones that were contested, but they were never kind of joined together until the World Series was kind of brought in 2017.
And that was a really excellent time for us, and having the opportunity towards the back end of my first
your first career
to actually it all be in one place, and so it was a lot easier and a lot more accessible to go, okay, I want to now go and compete in Indianapolis, or I want to compete in Denmark, and being able to go out there and race some of these rivals and friends that we have across the globe in a much more kind of constructive way. And it just meant that when we came to our trial meets here in Sheffield or Glasgow, that we had those international competitors to kind of come and push us along. And the performance side of me says to see what they were up to, but it was really just, it's a nice community within this sport, and to see those people and to race against them was a great bit of growth for the sport.
Yeah, I was in Berlin last year, and everybody's in the same hotel. All the teams are in the same hotel in Berlin, which is just great.
Berlin was my Berlin Open in 2011 was my first time away, and in that one hotel, meeting everyone and probably getting on a few people's nerves as I was a bit younger than Paul. But as I said, it was a great bit of fun, and then we had Europeans there later on that year.
Yeah, so bit of a contest going on here in the far end of the pool. Dos Santos Araujo, only one of these top performers for Brazil in the outside lanes. Santos Araujo, 2 golds at the Paralympic Games. He's going in lane number 8 in the S2 classification. Right next to him is the youngster from Great Britain, Joe Field, in the S5 classification. Santos Araujo coming into the wall now. Could be a big points total for the Brazilian here as he touches the wall. 694 points for the double Paralympic champion. And he goes, I think that's the highest points total as the swimmers in the middle. Alberto Albarza Diaz in with 573 points for Chile. And the final swimmer, Manfred Assmann, is coming into closing stages now. First time we've seen some of these swimmers at these competitions. We've got the big names. First time we've seen some of the internationalists as well. Of course, it's an opportunity for classification, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think 3 or 4 days before the meet starts, there's a buzz around classification and lots of people coming in, being reviewed or getting new classes. Going through that process and then being watched compete as a final part of the process. So that might be why we have some people here that don't have entry times in certain events.
Says the result confirmed for that second heat. Gabriel Dos Santos Araujo, top of the tree.
And another 694 high point score for heat 2 that was. So again, I'll ask you this time, Paul, what do you think it's going to take points-wise to make the final?
You got in quick there. Yeah, it's going to be around about the 700 point range, I think. Again, we'll just keep an eye on it. Maybe just under, possibly. Because it is top 30, so that's quite a lot. But if you think about it, we've got about 120 entrants and stuff like that. So, quite a lot of entrants in there.
And we also have the opportunity for some of the younger GB swimmers to compete in the national finals as well.
That's it, yeah. We'll have 4 finals in each of the events tonight. The ones that have got the most entries anyway, not in the 150 metres individual medleys, but we have 4 finals. So we have a GB national final as well as the 3 international finals. So the 2 events running side by side. So there's Andreas Ehrenhofer from Austria. He goes in the centre lane here. Again, there's another one who medalled at the Major Championships, had a great World Championships last year. George Longley in 0, Mustafa Al-Husseini in 1, Nihal Vim in 2, Isaac Johnson in 3, Ehrenhofer goes in lane 4, Thea Reynolds in 5, Mackenzie O'Reilly in 6, Lyndon Longhorn in 7, Josh Renkema in 8, and Onestoni Cordero da Silva goes in lane number 9. Again, 3 S4s, Lyndon Longhorn, da Silva and Ehrenhofer. You would expect them to be hitting the highest points totals. And Lyndon's another one who retired. He's come back. He stayed on though.
I probably shouldn't go without mentioning Lyndon, as Lyndon and I both obviously took that time out, came back in, and I think they put us coming back out of retirement athletes in a room together at World Champs. So Lyndon obviously is a good athlete and went away and found that motivation, that love again to come back and really try and get himself on that team shoot for Paris.
Well, Paris is only a year away. Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's a bit scary.
It is.
I'm not even swimming and it's a bit scary.
I know.
I mean, this time next year, you're going to be looking at those qualifying times to take you to what might be your first Paralympics, or take you back to Paralympics where you're adding to your medal haul. So, exciting times. 18 months, it's starting to get real.
Well, it's not long away. Wonder if anyone's going to stake a claim here. Renkema first to the wall ahead of O'Reilly. Lyndon Longhorn 1:33 for Lyndon Longhorn. That's an excellent swim, and that might have just sneaked inside his own British record, James, of 1:33.30, and he's 1:33.23.
That's a very strong swim from Lyndon this morning. We should have probably had a list for British records as well, Paul.
Probably, yeah. Well, that's one for Lyndon. I think he's claimed that British record, of course, subject to ratification. So well done, Lyndon. 1:33.23 for him. British record, we think, by 7/100ths of a second. But they all count.
Everyone counts.
That's a trick, isn't it? Just improve it by a couple of hundredths every time. You can break it many times.
I think my habit, Paul, is to miss it by a couple of hundredths most times.
Yeah, that's not the best. That's not the best way to do it. The 3 S4s did earn the highest number of points. 626 points for Lyndon Longhorn. So the next heat, he's on its way again. The heat's beginning to get a little bit faster. We have some S4 swimmers, some one S3 swimmer as well, as we go into the 1:23 through the 1:29 range in terms of entry times.